want to share my mission statement here. I am the founder and CEO of Radiant Health Center. And at Radiant Health Center, we know that the woman over 50 struggles with aging. And it is worse than you think. She feels undervalued and forced to compete with much younger women. So she fears to become maybe obsolete. And in her relationship, she wonders if she is still attractive and lovable. So she is in danger of depression. This is plain wrong. No woman should have to feel this way. I know that the mature woman has a treasure chest of experience and the beauty that only comes with maturity, which stands above that of youth. I have been a champion for women of a certain age, solving their health and relationship issues for over 25 years. So that rather than getting old and in her body and unhappy in her relationship that take her into the abyss of loneliness and depression, I want her to experience radiant energy that give her the zest for life and the security of a loving relationship with herself and her partner. Women deserve outrageous happiness. And I believe that when women are happy, everybody wins. Do you agree with that? So my programs facilitate my clients' transformation from unhappy and confused to the healthy, radiant, and happy woman who loves her meaningful life. So this is what my show is all about. If you want to know more about it, come here and be with me. So let's begin today's title is really how to turn the beauty of youth into the most mature and sophisticated beauty of the woman over 45. First of all, let me share with you what I believe we all agree on, we women. What do women really want? She wants to feel safe. She wants to be loved. She wants to be valued. She wants to be seen for who she is. She wants to be recognized. She wants to be respected. She wants to create her legacy. She wants to create new meaning in her life. And she wants more freedom. And all of that should be a no-brainer. All of that should be available to her. And of course, there is so much more. So I need to get something off my chest right now from the start, because lately I had it. Even before I share with you how to transform youth and the loss of youth into a deeper, more profound beauty. But here's a little bit of my rant first. I am sick and tired of seeing how women 50 and over are bombarded with marketing tricks and are taken advantage of because, yes, we are vulnerable, because we have lost our youth. And that's no fun. But because of that kind of anxiety, even it may not be a huge anxiety, but there is this anxiety. Women are easy prey to be marketed to and hijacked into believing that they must go through drastic restoration procedures to keep up with younger women. And it is even worse than you think. The subliminal message to older women is that success, prestige, and to be still sexy and lovable depend on how young she looks. What is she to do if she wants to be recognized and cherished, no matter what her age is? And it's even worse than that. The real tragedy, and actually not so much as a tragedy, even yes, but the real betrayal is when influencers in the media who call themselves spokesperson for women over 50 say that they have this flawless skin and the big shiny hair and their tiny waistline naturally at their age. Let me tell you, this is a lie. Let me take a sip. I think I got so excited that I got a little of a dry throat here. Yes, They always look so fabulous, right? And intimidate older women, making them feel that maybe without plastic surgery like facelifts and body reshaping, tummy tucks, and the list goes on, they are not visible and not valued and probably dismissed as old. This is really unbelievable. There is a reason why plastic surgery industries keep skyrocketing, right? This is the horrific challenge and the problem that women over 50 are faced with. Not every woman, but too many women. And it happens every day because it goes into their electronic devices, in their cell phone, in their emails, and everywhere. It is a constant message that gets through the media to her. Well, only two others are coming close. That's the advertisements of the magic pharmaceutical pill that seem to take care of every ailment of her body. And then the other one, the crazy one, is the fitness media with their preposterous claims for magic overnight weight loss programs. I'm furious about the manipulation to sell such lies. And let me tell you, those lies sell into the billions. I know what middle-aged and older women are faced with. I am 75, so I do know. Society and often a woman's own family do not realize what she's going through. Why? Because maybe she does not complain. She may even be embarrassed because nobody wants to talk about her challenges, her menopausal problems. So she suffers in silence. She may not even want to accept the challenging episodes of whatever she's experiencing, like hot flashes, mood swings, sleepless nights, exhaustion, and weight gain. She has little control over the changes that her body presents her with. But there is so much that she can do, and there is so much out there that is real that can help her, and not all these fake things, this fake news. But if this is not more than enough, she also may struggle with her identity now. Who is she now, after she wore so many hats and played so many roles that have ended when maybe the kids left home, or she lost her job, or she retired, or any other role that became obsolete or is not really that important anymore? So, who will guide her through this most challenging time in her life that affects every part of her physical, mental, and emotional body, and her spiritual body as well? And some find they find a home in their spirituality, and that is beautiful. But mentally, physically, emotionally, they should not suffer either. Because this is often the time when she feels a tremendous inner emptiness. This is also a time when she looks to fill that emptiness with substitutes that the outer world, through all this media and marketing, are constantly trying to make her buy into. And again, I don't speak about every woman over 50, but too many women are suffering with this and are taken advantage of. So she gets the subliminal message that unless she can reverse her aging body and become young and sexy again, her life is not all that valuable anymore, and she better retreats from the limelight. Even though she hears and even sees in the media that the woman of a certain age has actually made an entrance and seems to be more accepted now. I mean, there are women over 50 that are celebrated. And maybe you remember, I think it's still there, but it started about maybe a year or 2 years ago, the silver hair trend, when even young women dyed their hair silver because it was such a trend. But for the older woman, it became something where she declared, where she showed her silver hair, her gray, which I think is always beautiful and silver hair, and showed the beauty in it. Magazine covers featured older, successful women, women over 50 who are CEOs of big companies, became even billionaires. Yes, of course, that's fabulous. But how does this help you? How does it help us, the majority of women? Reality is that a whole new class of marketing for 50 plus women became even more forceful. Not openly, but hidden in clever marketing language that suggests that without shame, really suggests without shame, because they know that women over 50 have money to spend. And so they're going after that. That unless um, her skin is subtle and soft and smooth, and her hair full and shiny, and unless she has that slim waist and definition in her arms and in her legs, basically, unless she looks like a model, she is not really all that desirable anymore. And what is so astonishing is that even intelligent women receive those subliminal messages. We receive them, yes. And even though we dismiss them logically, an unconscious trigger may make us be more critical with our looks, and judgmental self-talk could interfere with our confidence. Yes? Take a deep breath. And this is also difficult and challenging for women who enjoyed a beautiful body when they were young and got the admiration. Too many of them lived in that illusion that it may stay like this, and ignored to prepare for the second part of their life, where youth and external beauty change. There is absolutely no question about that. Just with menopause, I don't even like to say pause, because it is a stop, right? Menopause sets in when your menses stops, so it doesn't come back. When you hear pause, you expect maybe that it's okay, it's pausing, maybe it comes back. It doesn't. So aging is a hard fact, but there is a softer fact. The soft fact is that you can transform the natural beauty we admire in youth and we had in ourselves in an even more profound beauty. And it is the beauty that shines from the inside out. It shows up in the irresistible attraction, a kind of magnetism of an older woman who shows up confident, sophisticated, and maybe even a bit controversial. Yes, controversial. I explain it that a bit later. Fact is that the inner struggle with aging affects primarily women, since men are not very concerned about this, except for the waning or loss of their sexual performance. We see a man that ages gracefully, even with leathery skin, even with sparse gray hair, as still interesting, still desirable. Some even find them sexy. And sometimes we are fascinated by those looks, the leathery, this really matured old look. That same look does not work so well, or is not accepted for a woman of the same age. Why is that? Of course, it is the rule we have all set. Probably not we women necessarily, but those rules have been set. They have been dictated by society. Major industries, of course, dictate what beauty is and how it must be preserved and enhanced under all circumstances. There is a lot of suffering with the aging woman, because how to transform the attraction of youth, which is waning, into the magnetism and sophistication is not known to many women. Yet, those who know and practice this beautiful art, they always seem to stand out. So I believe that sophistication and elegance elevates your social standing, while it generates confidence and even joy inside of you. that shines from the inside out. And I know that every woman can develop elegance and sophistication in her own special way. So how come that most women do not know this? Fact is that what you don't know, you can't express, right? Do you agree? So truth is, I am an aristocrat. So I grew up in an environment of elegance and nobility. And it seems that if you are so-called high-born, you are endowed with those qualities. But this is not so at all. Even though most of my fellow aristocrats would disagree because they have this imagination that there is something that only they have. It's not true. Well, and for them, I'm controversial here. And I love it. I'm a bit of a rebel anyway. I have been all my life. Let me share you my one true sentence. You don't know my life story, but maybe if you listen often enough to me, bits will always come out. The truth is that I break rules. I break rules for justice, for freedom, for love, and to be true to myself. And so should you. You are allowed to break rules for all of those reasons. And maybe you have your own special reason too. You know that you, yes, every one of you, have an inherent elegance and nobility. Why is this so? Why do I know this? For one, you are a divine being with the ability to express this divine part of you. Animals are not divine beings the way we are, and yet they have this inborn elegance and their very own style, and we are mesmerized by them. Isn't that so? We are mesmerized by animals because they don't pretend to be anything other than they are. And I want to do a little exercise with you. Just close your eyes for a moment and let's visualize a few animals. Visualize a giraffe in motion. See the elegance there. Visualize a horse and how it is moving and galloping across the prairie. Visualize a gazelle and the grace and elegance of her leapings. Now try to visualize a lion's slow approach, that very slow, elegant, smooth approach, and the powerful charge as he runs full out. Maybe visualize a black panther's graceful and commanding movements. 2 more, or 3. Visualize the incredible elegance and beauty of an eagle soaring high in the sky. Are we not mesmerized by that? And even the tiny hummingbird with its delicate, fast movements of its wings. And then behold the majestic pelican when he glides, or she, when they glide over the ocean with their wingtips almost, yet never touching the water. Now see in your mind's eye indigenous people of different races and how they move in their traditional dances, how beautiful their rhythm is, how elegant. Now open your eyes. You see, you and I, we have the capacity to move with rhythm. We have the capacity to move with elegance, with lightness, with smoothness. But do we do so? Some of us do, yet most do not, or only make an effort for special occasions or for attention getting. I believe that sophistication and elegance are not inborn, and yet the seed lies within you. It may be dormant, but I encourage you to germinate that seed. Grace, sophistication, etiquette, and manners are not automatic. They must be learned. And when you do stand out and have, I believe, more choices in your life. It's also more fun to feel confident no matter what. So let's talk about confidence and magnetism for a bit. Many people who want to be recognized as sophisticated try to put on a show. We see it all the time, right? And it works, at least sometimes. And some people are fooled. But the ones you want to impress with putting on a show are probably seeing right through it, because it is contrived. The internal state of unease and anxiety about how you come across shows on the outside when it is contrived. You see it sometimes when a woman, or sometimes men do that too, exaggerate a certain behavior. And it could be something like extending the pinky, right, when picking up the cup of tea. And others that are designed to appear as something that, by sitting in a certain way, showing a certain behavior that they look, that's them, but it's not them. It's just they show a modus in a certain way. And that it's not really true is because inside she sweats, trying to hide who she is. And when you sweat on the inside, it takes all of your energy to pretend what you are not, or to pretend to stick with that show that you put on. And it is felt by others, even if we can be fooled for a bit. It is usually revealed either right away or at some time, more gradually. So let me talk about body language. I want to start with your hands. Your hands tell a whole story. And not only in your gestures, but also where and how you hold your hands on your body. And since I'm sitting now, I cannot show you, but if you cross your hands in front of your body when you're standing, it tells a story of being insecure, shy, or maybe even feeling unworthy. And don't fidget. As we get older, we have that, when we are young and we are nervous, we fidget. But I find that as we get older, we fidget more. So be aware of this and stop it when you feel that you're fidgeting. Your hands can speak a different language of what your words say. Be aware of that as well. Your hands can either emphasize or negate what comes out of your mouth, the words that you speak. The same is true with how you move your entire body. For example, to say something truthful, yet moving your body, even if it's ever so slightly backwards, gives away that you are not totally in agreement with your own words. Isn't that amazing how this works? And I haven't been aware of it, but having become a speaker and on stages, you need to be corrected with this. And it is so easy, so nice to step backwards, but be careful when you step backwards that you are negating, or that you're not saying something that by stepping backwards you negate, or in the eyes of the others you negate it. And watch your facial expression too. I always believe that a soft inner smile keeps your body at ease. And it doesn't have to be, a smile where your mouth goes all the way to, opens and shows your teeth. An inner smile is just that very gentle softness within you. And of course, from the outer, take care of your skin. Bring out your best features. Often we can improve our unique features by consulting with a professional image coach. It may not be necessary, but if you are in a business where that is important, you may want to do that. And of course, your hair should be groomed and you should be properly dressed. I believe that it is better to be just a bit under than overdressed, except for formal settings. Then it is a must. A dress code is usually stated in an invitation, in a formal invitation to an event. The funny thing is, in the Bahamas where I live, everybody overdresses. Maybe not the young people so much, but uh, I mean, even people who go to church look as if they go to have tea with the Queen. I mean, gloves and beautiful dresses and hats and the whole shebang. I mean, it's in the Bahamas, overdressing is just part of the culture. Okay, so that's in the Bahamas. It's not so much in the United States. I don't think so. But another thing is, I believe that how you walk, your gait, gives away so much more than your age. Actually, I see young people walk like old people when they shuffle and they slouch and they, you know, bent over because everybody is looking into their phone or in something now. So too many young people already have rounded shoulders and really don't have that spring in their step anymore. And I have seen 80-year-old women walk with such elegance and rhythm that their smooth movement suggests a much younger age. This again can be learned, and it starts by a couple of physiology. I mean, keeping your hips open and your body flexible. Your upper body should be straight but not stiff. There is so much. Maybe we talk about this at another time. And actually, I have a beautiful friend who I may want to invite to talk with me about this, Mariah Kay. So anyway, we will get to this body movement and how it can keep you young and flexible and beautiful and healthy. We will get to this. Here are another couple of things that make you stand out and show that you have the sophistication that is required to show that really makes you stand out. Look into the person's eyes when you speak to them. The person's eyes are there to be spoken into, not into their lower body, not into their feet. So look into their eyes. Then something else that is so important is don't interrupt. Don't be loud, but not boring either. Bring tonality into your conversations. Listen, and even if you disagree, practice listening. It's an almost forgotten and yet so important art. Be careful with your comments about others. The stories about others you tell can be tempting, yet think if they are appropriate. And the same is with jokes. Don't tell jokes if they're not appropriate. Don't talk about anybody in any negative way. There is an elegant way to reframe something negative into a positive. Do not speak about politics, present or immediate past, unless you are with friends that are used to it or it's prearranged. Don't gossip, never gossip. When others do and you cannot remove yourself, be prepared to stay neutral and positive. Make a list of phrases or short sentences that you can use if you are asked for your opinion. When you find yourself in the circle of people who speak in a derogatory or trashing way about somebody and they want your engagement. And I don't have time to go in all of these phrases, but I will continue with this next Saturday. And then we go into something else. I want to say a little bit more about elegance and sophistication and how it will help you for your own purpose and also to stand out. Okay, so I enjoyed so much that you were with me here, and thank you so much for the time that you took to listen to me, because it's wonderful if you have somebody to speak to, and I see I have listeners here. So thank you so much, and please come and join me next week, same day, same time. So this is all for today. I love you. I admire you. Be brave. It's not easy to get old or older, but it can be fun, and it should be the most beautiful a time, freedom years. I call them freedom years. So let's make it so. Stay with me. Okay, stay with me and in my shows, and you will learn so much more. Okay? Okay.